Hey guys, in this video we'll be continuing with the C# tutorials. So we'll be doing the lab here. So basically we'll start adding some components with the toolbox and the drag and drop. So first we'll add the text boxes. So we'll add 4 text boxes, 5 labels, and 3 buttons. So we'll go with the first text box. So the first text box will be somewhere around here. So we'll just change that to text box 1. We'll change the name. So we'll say a day of week text box. Where'd that go? Okay, so let's just change the size here a bit, so we'll go with the font. Takes a bit of time to set these up. So we'll just quickly change the font here. What size was that? Let's just go through from the bottom. Something like that's fine, so we'll just go with the next text box then. So I'll just continue doing this. You may hear me not talk for a bit, so I'll just kind of go with it. Actually, I guess I'll have to tell you the names. So here we'll have another one. We'll change this name to month text box, and then I'll change the size to the same thing. Alright, so we'll add the next one. So remember, there's going to be 4 of them. So this one we'll name it year text box. This one we'll name it, actually did I mess that one up? Okay, so we got day of week text box, month text box. There should be day of month text box. So we'll just change that one, apologize for that, so we'll just say this one is day of month text box. And this one will be year text box. So in this case, we'll just actually just change the size again. Forgot about that. Alright, so let's go with the labels now. We got 5 of them. This one we'll name a day of week label. We'll change the size as well to 36. Yeah, we'll have to turn auto size to true. Okay, so then we'll continue on. Actually, sorry, so the text here we actually have to change, whoops, great. That could mess some stuff up already. Hopefully it doesn't, so we'll just try to fix it at the end if we have to. So for label 1, we'll change the text to enter the day of the week. Okay, so we're going to have to probably change the size of this to something smaller. No, okay, yeah, so that's fine. There we go, so we'll go 1 down from whatever it was. Maybe 24 or something, so then here we'll go for the next one. This one will say that it's the month label. So this is the month label, and then we'll change the auto size to true, I think. Whoops. And then we'll change the size to 24 or something. I think it's 26. We'll go with 26, and then we'll change the text to enter the name of the month. Alright, so for the next part we will add another label then. Whoops. So then here we'll say where are we at? Okay, so this one is day of month. So this is day of month label. So this is Oh, sorry, so we have to change the auto size off. Where are we at? Here, auto size to true. Okay, then we'll change the size to 26, and then the text to enter the day of the month. And then we'll go, so lastly here, actually not lastly, but almost done. So last label, actually no. So it's the second last label. Let's see, we got okay, so let's change the name here to year label, so year and then label camel cased, and we'll go with the auto size, we'll turn that to true again. So we'll just change it to year label. Actually, no. We already did that. Oh, great. Okay. So change the text, sorry, for this to enter the year. Let's go with current year. Then we'll change the font to 26. And then we'll add, okay, so we're going to run out of room here. So I'm just going to resize this a bit so we can fit everything in here. Okay, so here we'll add one more label at the bottom. And we need to save some room for the buttons as well. So we'll change the name of this label to date output label. And we'll change the auto, so we'll turn auto size to true. Font we'll go with actually we're going to try to change this. No. Okay, so we're going to want to change the auto size is true. Okay, we're going to want the font size to be a bit less than that. Hopefully it'll work. So we'll just leave it like that, then we'll add 3 buttons. So this one will just kind of kind of put it off to the side here. We'll call it show date button. We'll change auto size is true. Let's go with true, and then we'll change the font. Do something bigger. Maybe a bit bigger than that. A little bit bigger than that too. Okay, that's fine. That should be fine. So we'll go with that. 3 of those. Be nice if we could just copy that, but we'll just go with another one, another 2 basically. Which oh, whoops. Let's just go to this one for a sec, and then just change the text to show date or display, whatever. Let's just go with get date. We get date, then here we have, we'll just move this over. And this one will have, it kind of takes long to set these up. So here we'll just change the name to clear button. And we'll go with auto size. Change it to true. Then we'll go with the font size. Do something, we said 36. Nope, a little bit less than that. 26, or not sure what happened there. That's okay, so we'll just go with that. We'll change the text to clear. And then we'll just have one more. Alright, so that, we'll just go with one more here. I think I sized it off, that's okay. When you code it, it's easier to get into a proper layout, so we'll talk about that later. There's different layouts we can use and stuff, so we'll just have another one here. Whoa, what the heck happened to that? Why is it so small? Okay, so here let's change that to, oh, whoops, is that text box? Oh no, okay. So I'm going to hit delete on the keyboard. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to click the bounding box and click the delete button on the keyboard, which is above the arrow keys. Should be. So I'm going to click on button instead. So we'll change it to exit button, the name or identifier, and then we'll change the auto size to true. Then we'll change the font to something big. And then we'll change the text to exit button. Nope. Close. Exit, whatever. Exit or close, whatever you want. There we go. Finally, we got everything set up here. We have extra event handlers, which we don't want, so hopefully it doesn't cause an error. Alright, so let's just finish this one off here. One sec here, let me just see what we have to do next. Okay, so we can change the form's text property. So highlight the form, just click on anywhere in the form which is not one of the components. Then I'll click the name. We'll change it to date, window, whatever you want. Okay, that didn't change the name though. Okay, whoops. This should actually be form 1. We'll change the text, sorry, we'll change the text to date window. So date window like that. There we go. So now it changed the window name changed, the form name. So then we'll have the next part. Alright, so 5 labels, 4 text boxes, and 3 buttons. We skip the border size, we don't really need to do that. Text align, we'll just skip that too, we've done that before. So we need the click event handlers for the buttons. So we'll click them all, get date, clear, and exit. Should have highlighted it first, but okay, now we got more than one, which is not good. Why is it doing that? It should just be 1. That's not good at all. We have all this extra stuff, which is it's all going to get confused in the back. We're going to have to go through that again. That's going to take time. Okay, so we have, it's too sensitive. Sometimes you accidentally click twice and then it just creates an event handler. When you didn't mean to, then everything gets messed up. So we will continue on. So we double click the show date button control. Okay, so show date button. So show date button, is that what we called it? Show date or get date, whatever. So we'll click that one. Actually, we'll find it in the code. We just have one, so hopefully it works. So here we will just comment that out. The exception, and then here we'll have a string. We'll just name it output. So it's a local string, and then we'll say output points to day of week text box dot text plus a quote with a comma inside and a space. So it looks like we're going to kind of join a bunch of stuff here, so we'll have that and then a plus sign. And on the next line we'll have month text box. So you can do this too. I usually just put them in one line, but if you need to, you can go to the next one, whatever you feel comfortable with. So we have here month text box dot text plus another string space plus a day of month text box dot text plus a empty set of quotes with a comma and then a plus sign. No, whoops. Then we'll have a year text box dot text semicolon. So Rider has like this resharper theme is like blue, light blue, pink, and white. It almost looks like Xcode. Midnight, that theme, if you guys know that one. It looks pretty good though in this. When I've tried that Xcode Midnight on like I've seen people make that theme, and it doesn't look very good. It looks really bad. This one, the colors are, maybe it's just the IDE or something. The colors are really good. It looks professional. It looks like not some like old school graphics. I don't know how to explain that, but it's like, if you guys know that Java compiler that they tell you to use, Eclipse. Eclipse looks like it's from the 1990, like early 1990s. It looks like you're using Windows 95. It's really bad. And I think there's a theme in there. The themes in there are absolutely terrible. It does not look, the text does not look like this at all. It's like, it looks like Windows 95. It's really bad. It looks like Microsoft Word 95. Or like even earlier than that. Pretty much, yeah, the 90s. Early 90s. And then there's a similar theme to that Xcode Midnight in IntelliJ or something. I think it was IntelliJ. And it was like Xcode Midnight, someone created it, and it didn't look like 95, but it didn't look that good. But this one's pretty good. It's not bad. Alright, so we'll go to you can also add your own custom themes. You just go to settings, and then I don't think you can see this, but settings will pop up. Then click on appearance. Appearance again. Then select the themes tab. I have resharper dark. I don't think you can see that. You can get more themes from somewhere. Yeah, there's a button under there, get more themes. So if you don't like this one, you can find like some other ones, or the ones that are default included. This one isn't bad, but sometimes you may get bored of the colors. Just 3 colors. Sometimes it's nice to have a few more, 4 or 5. Sometimes more. Sometimes maybe getting more than that might be too much. There's IDEs with like 10 different, they have like a different color for every word. That's probably too much. Because you want all the keywords to have a certain color, then you want your own variables that you define. So the coder set names those to be a separate color. Yeah, and then you want other things. Yeah, so it's all different. You may want a class to be a different color, and the namespace, that stuff. So you can always make your own themes. You can code your own themes and upload them to the community if you want. So yeah, so you might do that in the future. So here we'll have, so we'll go on to the next part. So after all that, we can have, we'll say date output dot, so date output label dot text points to output. Alright, so let's see what else we have here. That should be it for that one. Actually, we just have another two to do. 2 buttons. I don't think we need to do anything else. Alright, so we just did the show date button. So then we'll have the clear button, so we should have that somewhere. Why is that set to 2 quotes? This was, what would we say this was? Show date. Did I accidentally create a mistake here? Yeah, so that was show date. Okay, so now we have the clear button. So we'll go with the clear button here somewhere. Okay, we got 2 here. That probably will be a problem if I delete one. Hopefully not. Let's just try it. We just cut it. Okay, something's probably gonna get messed up now, but we'll fix it. We'll try to get rid of this one too. Second one. We don't really need these here. We can cut those. I'd rather just code these all from scratch, but we'll be getting into that soon, so don't worry. Okay, so we have some extra spaces. Let me just try to join these together. This we can, okay, we'll just move this back up here. Oh, what happened there? Okay, so we'll just keep that exception there like that. Then we have the bracket down there. We'll just move these up. Move these up too. This is for the end of the namespace in the class. This is our constructor, and then the event handler methods right here. Okay, so let's go with clear button now. Let's have a sip of my water. Okay, so now let's go on with the clear button. So we're just going to set everything to pretty much just an empty string. So we'll have here, we'll just comment this out. Day of week textbox.text points to an empty string. We'll just do the same for the rest. So here we have day of week text box.text points to an empty string. Month text box.text points to an empty string, and then we have day of month text box.text points to an empty string. Then lastly we'll have year text box.text points to an empty string. Alright. Then here we'll clear the label. Date output label.text points to an empty string. Semicolon. Save that just in case. Had a power outage here last week for like several hours in the morning and then another hour in the afternoon. Someone hit a pole, I think. Alright, so we have the next one will have private. Okay, so yeah, it's going to be private. We'll talk about that later on. So we have the exit button. We'll just call this .close. Pretty easy to remember. So this just references, we'll talk about that later on, just references an object. So here we have this .close, which will close it. Let's just save that. Should be everything. We'll just run that. You won't be able to see it, but I'll include that part at the end. There's probably an error somewhere. Yep. Okay, so how did I fix this last time? I'm gonna have to go to that other file, so I'll click form1.cs, drop down menu. I'll go with the form1 designer.cs. Okay, so we're looking for red lines here. Click this generated code area. Hopefully we can fix this. I forgot what I did last time if it's not in here. Day of week label.click. Okay. There we go. This one. Okay, so take these out here. So what I did is I'm taking out this see, day of week label underscore click, it's red, so I'm just going to delete this line. I'll look for any more like that. We'll talk about this file later on. It's pretty easy, most of it's easy. Minus the top's kind of confusing here. What this is, disposing components does not equal to null. Null we'll talk about, that just means it doesn't point to an object. Base.dispose, that's a little complicated, we'll talk about that at some point before we get into this file. This method you've seen, this is basically it. You just have to, it's just a built-in method to set up the GUI. This stuff is simple, we just have to create objects and then set them to different things. Just looking for one more red line. Okay, there it is. Get rid of that one. That should be it. So we'll just excuse me. So we'll just go back to that. Actually, let's just try running it from here to see what happens. Alright, so we got our There is one thing actually I want to change, so we'll just go to the file, back to the file we were in, form1.cs. Then we'll go with moving that down. So here we have the designer. We'll click label 1, get the text up. We'll just change the text to nothing here. Hit enter, and then we'll probably just add a border style to fixed single. That should be fine. Auto size. Okay, we'll just leave that for now. We'll save that. Run it now. Okay, so you can't see it, but I'll include this at the end, so it's going to say, if you did run it yourself, it'll say enter the day of the week. Day of the week, is it today? I think it's Tuesday. Okay, so Tuesday. Oops, enter the name of the month. What month is it? February. Day of the month, I think it's the 28th. Current year, it's 2023. What happened to our button name? Which wasn't sized up properly. Okay. Something happened to our button name again. So I'll click this text, I'll change it to show date. This middle text box will have to be changed. What happened here? This text box is stuck, and the one in the middle, that might have clicked something by accident. Text align to middle center. Okay, so let's try that. Save that. We'll just go with it. We got the idea here. So yeah, so in the last part of the video I will include it. So if I don't, yeah, so I guess I'll see you guys in a sec.